Jane.
My name is Jean Noel, and I am opposed to this law in this form, this way. And to answer, I'm sorry I don't know your name, but the gentleman from Gatehouse? There are many ways this could have been done. In fact, this is the third proposal that's come before this board. Within the first 6 months of office of the current supervisor, a proposal was made, and it was voted on, and it had to be retracted because it was done improperly. It needed the law that they were attempting to pass, and I don't have all the citations before me, but Chapter 10, 24 of Town Law required that it be done at a biennial election. A biennial election is an election where it's an odd year and we elect a majority of the town. That's statewide. And when you do that, the referendum itself does not take effect for anybody who's on that ballot. It's the voice of the people that is heard, and it's acted upon going forward. They failed to do that correctly last year, so that this year we could be voting on it in a biennial election, have a proper debate and discussion, let the chips fall where they may, and let it happen for the following term of the next supervisor, not a sitting supervisor. Then the idea was brought back again this year in 2009. And it was brought back, last year it was done also, it was done at the wrong amount of days. It was brought back in 2009, back in March. And somehow there was also some false or difficult or hurdles that couldn't be passed to make it work, and make it work for this election, for this year, for this supervisor, for this term, to take effect this January. So it was, instead of being done by municipal town law, we now went to municipal home rule, which is yet a third attempt and a third way to, quote, make it happen. At any cost, at any way, we have spent thousands of dollars and time on attorneys, taxpayer dollars, to put this before us, and we haven't even voted. If there is to be a vote, it should be, in my opinion, in a way where it does not affect the outcome in which the election we're voting on it takes place at the same time. I also wanted to speak to Mr. Rock's comment, and I went to the town code, E-code today, section 8-3E, disclosure of interest in legislation. I'm reading from the town code. Every officer or employee of the town of Kent shall abide by the following standard of conduct. And this again is quoting. To the extent that he knows thereof, a member of town board, officer, employee of the town of Kent, whether paid or unpaid, who participates in the discussion or opinions of an official opinion to the town board on any legislation before the town board, shall publicly disclose on the official record the nature and extent of any direct or indirect financial or other private interest he has in such legislation. So I would also like to see this supervisor, who stands to gain and benefit the most by way of salary, benefits, and perhaps retirement someday, abstain from voting on this if the board is intent on going forward with this. I further would like to say that the discussion in Washington and across this country is about a bill that is limiting choice and expanding the interests of government. I don't think we're any different here in Kent. I'm against limiting choice. I'm against expanding the government in this way, doubling the time where citizens would be able to vote and change the majority of our town board. I'm simply against it. I will be voting no. I will be urging others to vote no. I understand that there's a debate, that you could explore the potentials and the pros and cons, but this way, this time, on this manner, I am outraged at the way this is being done. And I think that the third attempt is 3 strikes, you're out. We shouldn't be voting on this. The town board, if it thinks it is good public policy going forward, should do it by one of the other 2 measures, not for this election.